Life is an amazing thing. You know, it cannot be confined to rules, to regulation. And sadly, I speak not only to the world, I speak to the church as well. You know, we could be preaching freedom. We could be speaking about the freedom that an engagement with true morality can bring into our lives. And the child can go into his home. We can say to the child, you are validated because your intelligence and your emotions in sync with a true morality, with an outward source, can complete you. You're validated. And the very same child can go into their home and the parents will tell them, you're worthless. Because on the relational road, we can be on the right-hand side of it, where religion dwells, rules and regulation. We can also err on going onto the reckless side of it, where licentiousness rules. Here, legalization, here license. Here religion, here recklessness. We're called neither to religion nor to recklessness, but to relationship. Morality is not a concept, it's a relationship. At the heart of this book is not a concept called morality. Here are another bunch of rules that you're to obey and to follow. That's not what the book is about. The book is about a relationship with true morality, with He who has sent His Son to die, to take on our sins, and to set us free. Now, if that were not to be true, then we could live our lives entirely with our intelligence and our emotions, our IQ and EQ. If we can be honest today and say, because one would have to be true to say this, that even if there were to be God, we could not say yes to Him unless we were honest. So even when we did not have God, we could be honest, at least. At what point does that honesty become hypocrisy? At what point can we say, well, I don't need Him? Well, we have the right to say, I don't need Him. But what the book does, it says, well, let's take stock and see what not needing Him has produced. Can we honestly, because I think it is important to be honest, lest we be hypocrites. Because we know that when He came and spoke in the Gospels, He had more to say against the hypocrites than He did against the sinners. So in His mind, it's far more healthy to be honest about our condition and our state than to pretend we're something that we're not. So honesty is at the heart of this book. If we can be honest and say, we have our IQ, our intelligence, we have our EQ, our emotional quotient, or emotional intelligence. What have we done with our IQ and EQ? What have we produced with that? The secular humanists have proposed that we don't need an MQ, a moral quotient. One can only barely study the books. It's all out there. For example, Freud's book, The Future of an Illusion, where he drifts out of the realms of his clinic into the realms of sociology and comments on the behavior of Christians. And he says those who believe in a God are in a delusion. That's a summary of his concept of morality. In other words, there is none of it outside of my intelligence and my emotion. But what we are saying is no. The intelligence and the emotion was given to engage in a relationship with a moral quotient, with the true morality, which would bring about a moral quotient in our behavior. Take that example now into the life of this autistic child. I can give you countless examples of people that have been in touch with true morality, that have gone into hospitals, that have gone on the sides of the bed of children that were dying for no reason other than the fact that they understood the value of relationship. How could we teach relationship if we haven't first received it, lest we be the inventors of it? Which, if we were to be honest, we would have to say that we did not do that. So relationship was not born from our inborn social reflexes, as some of the secular humanists would seem to say. They say concepts like affability, sociability, even morality can be grown from inborn social reflexes. In other words, the only reason why mothers don't commit incest with their children is because of the paternal nepotism, the control of the male pride lion in his tribe. Or the reason why we look after the old is for the sake of reciprocity, because we know that if we do that, they'll look after our children when we need a break. You know, if one was to distance ourselves from a relationship with true morality, we engage a deconstructive life that begins to disengage from the relational reality that we could only learn from an external source, that we could never generate from ourselves, which is what the proponents of true morality believe, that all morality stems and sources from God. That heart of relationship is what takes that mother into that room, adjusts her behavior to build a relationship with her child and bring healing to her child. It's that heartful relationship that will send people into hospitals, into autism clinics, into places of mental illness, and out of a sheer heartful relationship and love, see complete and radical healing in the lives of those who are mentally ill. I can tell you countless stories of people that have taken the mentally ill into their arms, and out of the sheer love of their sacrifice and commitment and a desire to build a relationship, that some of these children have been brought into healing. It's relationship that does it. We can't conjure that up in our own inborn social reflexes. It comes from an external source. And we need to take stock. We need to be honest and say, what have we produced with our IQ and our EQ so far that's worthy of being built for the next generation? And if we haven't done what we thought we could have done, then we do need to stop and say, how else should we do it?